You come back on that Monday, it's just not quite, things done. And then Tuesday, you're like, and then by Wednesday, you're okay. Andrew Luck did not throw a football for a year and a half. He's a quarterback. Andrew Luck this year is going to be good because he's an all-time talent. Not going to be MVP. He may not, due to Deshaun Watson, be the best quarterback this year in his division. You cannot go from doing something for years 24/7 and then go to total inactivity for an extended time and come back and just be great. You and I take 2 weeks off, we come back, we're rusty. He took a year and a half off from not throwing a football. Michael Jordan took a year and a half off in a sport which is easier to get into basketball shape than football shape. Michael Jordan left for a year and a half, came back for a season and shot 41%. Lowest of his career, including his last year in the NBA when he was an old man and couldn't jump. Now, the following year, Michael Jordan shot 50% and was the MVP of the league. But you can't go 24/7 something for years, even if you're great like Michael Jordan, go to total inactivity. He goes to baseball, comes back. He wasn't the same guy. Andrew Luck is probably the best young quarterback I've seen in this league since like a Dan Marino or John Elway. Like, walked into the league, you're like, holy, what? How's he winning 11 games with that roster? He was unbelievable. And then he got the you-know-what kicked out of him, and then he couldn't throw a football for a year and a half. And I watched him last night, and I thought, he'll be good this year. Because, Michael Jordan is still Michael Jordan, and Andrew Luck's still Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's going to be good. He is not going to be great this year. Shop Lowe's to get your deck looking its best. Your deck, new Valspar exterior stain available at Lowe's. One coat, rain ready in 4 hours. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Lowe's. Good to have you in. Jarrett Bell, USA Today NFL reporter, will be joining us in about 20 minutes. TJ Hushmanzada stopping by today. So when Paul George was out there and could have gone to the Lakers or could have stayed at Oklahoma City, he didn't even give the Lakers an interview. And he said yesterday the Lakers were ticked off about that.
I mean, L.A. was pissed at me. I didn't give Magic which I understand. Yeah. I understand. But at that point, I mean, I knew I wanted to give it another shot. I didn't want to prolong it and waste people's time. I just felt comfortable. I felt like I've been around those guys forever.
Yep.
That was just the feel. It didn't feel like this was like a new relationship.
Yep.
It felt like these are guys that I want to compete with.
Yeah.
And coming down to free agency, it was no question. I wanted to get it done with and over with.
Okay. So he chose Westbrook over LeBron. I wouldn't. And he chose OKC's history over the Lakers. I wouldn't. But let's be honest about this. Chris Bosh is a very good player, probably a Hall of Famer. He struggled with LeBron at the end. And Kevin Love's going to make the Hall of Fame, and he struggled with LeBron. And Kyrie Irving's going to be a Hall of Famer, and he struggled with LeBron. And several coaches have struggled with LeBron. LeBron's not easy. He's just better than everybody else. And Bill Belichick's not easy. He's just better than everybody else. And working at Apple is not easy, but it's just better than everybody else. Channing Frye said, playing with LeBron, and Channing Frye's a good dude, smart dude, been around the league. He said, when you play with LeBron, there is no room for mistakes. Because in all actuality, he could do it all himself. He could win 40 games by himself. He's done it. But I think it really comes down to a simple thing. What Paul George, you think he's a superstar, but he's from a small town, and he played at Fresno State, and he didn't come into this league out of college as a star. He developed into one in one of the smallest NBA cities, Indianapolis. He didn't grow up hanging out in downtown L.A., grew up outside of L.A., a lot of small towns outside of L.A. And Fresno's a small town when you compare it to L.A. And Indiana's a small town. And most Americans, if you line up comfort, money, familiarity, and solidified status, are going to choose that over uncomfortable, unfamiliar, little less money, and your status is a mystery. He chose Oklahoma City because he was comfortable. He was familiar with his teammates. He made a little more money. And his status there, second best player on the roster, is solidified. It's not comfortable playing with LeBron. It's unfamiliar territory. You're going to make a little less money. And your status, let's be honest, Kawhi Leonard may be coming, is a total, absolute mystery. I would never have chosen Westbrook over LeBron. LeBron just wins more and ends up in the finals. I would never have chosen OKC's basketball brand in history. When you retire a Laker, you're just a bigger deal. You're just a bigger deal. They write and talk about you more. You win in Oklahoma City, it makes them happy. You win in L.A., and it makes the world happy. Makes the league happy. Everybody wins. But I think when you get right down to it, LeBron's not easy. Ask Chris Bosh. Ask Kyrie. Ask David Blatt. Ask Kevin Love. And by the way, in a few months, ask Luke Walton. LeBron, the payoff with Saban, the payoff with Belichick, the payoff with LeBron, the payoff working at Apple, it's better. But if you're looking for comfortable and familiarity and a solid job status, you're not going to choose that. You're not going to choose that. Chris Bosh went from 25 a game to on some nights, he scored 0 points in one of those game sevens. And Kevin Love went from an all-star 25 and 14 to taking all the blame when LeBron's teams lost. He came off the bench a couple times. If you're looking for familiarity, comfortable, status solidified, LeBron's not the choice. He never has been. Ask his coaches and ask the stars he's played with. Here's Jamie with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.